You are tuned to R32 Media. This is the Twin Turbo Gaming Show, episode 12. How is everybody doing out there? This is E.T. You're tuned to the Twin Turbo Gaming Show. Well, today, I'd like to say Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Happy summer vacation to all of you. And for those of you that are Buddhist and celebrating Obon, the Obon holiday or Obon festival, happy Obon. I guess that's how you say it. But Obon is basically a Buddhist holiday where you honor the deceased, honor your dead by praying for them and making offerings on the altar or just basically praying for them. And lots of good food, lots of good drink, and a long weekend here, probably 4-day weekend for most people in Japan. I'm not sure about the rest of Asia or the rest of the Buddhist world, but it's a pretty big holiday here in Japan. So that's what's going down here. It's summer. It's hot. It's like 35 degrees outside, 36, 37 sometimes Celsius, which in American Fahrenheit is hot. hot. You need air condition. The sun is beaming. The ocean water is nice, but one thing about Obon is that's when the jellyfish start coming. I went to the beach yesterday and I didn't see any jellyfish yet, but when Obon starts is when the jellyfish season starts. So it's going to be, unfortunately, there's still about a month or month and a half left of really hot weather. So when you can't really go to the ocean to swim, or you have to swim carefully around jellyfish, it's not really fun. But that leaves a lot of time for gaming in air-conditioned houses, which is what I've been doing. So what I've been playing this week, I've been playing lots of League of Legends, which is free to play now. I haven't actually played anybody else. I've been playing against the bots, trying to build my skills. So when I do get to play with my community members, I will not be sorry. I will not suck. I've been playing the new Cut the Rope. And I have been playing old school Sega Genesis titles from the Pack 4 that I blogged about. Lots and lots of old school shooters. Got my Xbox 360 joystick all configured out perfectly. And basically just mostly playing the old school Sega games from Steam. And League of Legends. And when I'm out mobile or I'm on the train, I've been playing the Cut the Rope, new version of Cut the Rope. What is the name of that one? Cut the Rope Experiments. That's it. It's pretty cool. It just basically continues to add some more tools, I guess, or gadgets that you can use to kind of achieve your goal of getting. Well, what do you want to get? You get that thing, the food into the frog or the monster's mouth, basically. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's do some housekeeping. First thing I'd like you to do is go to r32media.com. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, there's a link on the right side. You can click to subscribe on iTunes, or there's another link right next to it if you have another podcatcher for your mobile phone, your Android, or even, I guess there's some other podcatchers out there on the PC. But most people use iTunes. I guess some people use Zune, and there's Miro Player. You can use that other feed for those. Also, subscribe to the newsletter. You get an email blast once a week telling what shows we have produced when they are live. And it's we'll probably throw in some special things in the future, maybe contest giveaways, things like that. But you have to subscribe to the newsletter if you want to get it. And I guess I'll hint at something. So I was at my local retro gaming place. And there is an original Super Nintendo in America, in Japan. It's called the Super Famicom in its original box, and it's about $50. And they also have lots of games there. So I was thinking maybe in the near future of doing a giveaway and giving away an old school original Super Famicom straight from Japan. So, but you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to win if you're not registered or signed up for our newsletter. So if you're interested in getting some, it might be that's one of the potential gifts that I might give away. We got some N64s over there, some GameCubes. What else? There's all kinds of old school stuff over there. So I was thinking maybe I might have to give some of the old school technology away, or maybe even some like Japanese gaming magazines or something. I'm thinking of starting to doing some contests for the Twin Turbo Gaming Show, but to be eligible, you most likely have to. You might just want to sign up for our newsletter. Hint, hint, hint. And that will be over at www.r32media.com. If you want to email us, you can email us at info@r32media.com. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the Twin Turbo Gaming Show. The first story of the day comes to us via Touch Arcade, toucharcade.com. And this talks about how Engimoco is an iOS game maker, has decided to drop support for the older iOS devices. And I think this is about time, because the original iPhones and iPod Touches are getting a little bit long in the tooth, and these modern games are taking a lot more horsepower to pump out the graphics and just the games in general, the connectivity, things like that. So Engimoco decided that it's time to slowly wane ourselves off of these older iOS devices. And the interesting thing, according to their blog post, it's only 5% of the user base anyways. So time for those guys to upgrade. And Engimoco is insistent upon it, put it that way. So I'll put a link to the story in the show notes. This is from Touch Arcade, but in the story has a link to the Engimoco blog post as well, and you can check it out there. Epic Games president, quote, "So really, what's the point of all those next-gen consoles, ? End quote. The Epic Games president, Mike Capps, had an interview with Industry Games. And I'm going to read this. It's about 2 paragraphs. A quote that he made is talks about what this article is about. Before, the problem was between the consoles and the PC, where they had very different levels. The power of your PC could be 100 times the power of someone else's PC. This time, the problem could be mobile. If you look at the ridiculous acceleration of iPhone hardware and technology, trying to find a sweet spot for tech to make your mobile game, I mean, what would your mobile game look like in 2015? Who knows how fast that's going to operate? But you can bet it's going to be faster than the Xbox 360, he said. So, I think that the real challenge for us now, rather than worrying about the differences between a couple consoles and some order of magnitude, whether 3x or 4x, it's all about how do we deal with iPhone 8. If you watch where the games are going, that's where they are. Your iPhone 8 will probably plug into your TV, or better yet, wirelessly connect to your television set to give you that big screen gaming experience with good sound. So really, what's the point of those next generation consoles? ? It's a very interesting situation to be looking at. That's what we're starting to think about more. Not how do we scale from some Nintendo platform to some other future consoles, he concluded. This is very, very interesting. So, as we mentioned before, the console market is what 40% of the market right now. Only 40%, and the iPad and the iPod and the mobile market is just growing exponentially. So this is interesting coming from the head of Epic Games. And I don't know. What do you think about it? Send me an email. Let me know what you think. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is it going to be the end of consoles as we know it? I don't know. I still think, of course, I'm a PC gamer, number 1. Probably iOS or mobile, number 2. And then console, number 3 right now. But unless I don't know. It's going to be hard. I like having the console, those controllers, the experience, the depth of the game. If the camaraderie, playing with your friends. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but all those things can probably be fixed or are being fixed or are being solved in iOS and Android as well. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think, guys? What do you think? And girls, of course. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But iPhone 8, what will it be? We're only on iPod 4 iPhone 4 getting ready to go iPhone 5. Just imagine the processing power definitely will outdo the Xbox 360, no problem. They said their RISC chips will probably beat the current systems in a year or two. So yeah, definitely. Speaking of Apple, Apple TV is basically an iOS device. It has basically the same hardware inside, same CPU and underlying operating system. So some of the hackers out there, the crackers and the hackers, they managed to make a basic HTML5 blackjack game and get it running on Apple TV. And we all know, if you're even the slightest bit in the know, that all Apple has to do is really flip a switch and apps will run on the Apple TV. Of course, there's scaling issues and things like that in the controller, but I mean, the controller is basically going to be the iPad or the iPhone. Maybe there'll be an aftermarket touch type controller thing. Who knows? Or a Bluetooth game controller. We really don't know. But I mean, just HTML5 games running already on the Apple TV. You jailbreak it and things like that, and you get other iOS games playing on it. It's just a matter of time before Apple says, let's just flip this switch. And it could be in the next generation of Apple TV, or they could do it easily on the current generation. But there's an interesting article and a video showing this HTML5 blackjack game on the Apple TV. I'll put a link in the show notes. This one is also from Touch Arcade. Next story, Twitch.tv, which is Justin TV's new video game esports video hub, streaming hub, just hit 8 million viewers. And they partnered with Blizzard's largest StarCraft 2 tournament. So they're on fire. And I actually have an account over there. And I've been slowly starting to mess around with my streaming settings using... I've been messing with VidBlaster, connecting through Flash Media Encoder. And my current broadband connection, I get about 2.5 up and about 20 to 30 down, which is, way lopsided, but that's kind of usual. But for streaming, you need good up speed. So 2.5, sometimes 3 I can get. So I can get some pretty decent streaming. I wouldn't mind having like 10 or more up, but I can get some decent streaming, and I've been kind of messing around with it. So if you look at my channel once in a while, you'll see videos of me working on trying to maximize the settings. But yeah, Twitch TV, there's lots of good gaming content. And I think it's turning into a kind of a good spectator sport and a way to watch other people play and learn from them and to improve your skills as well. Pretty awesome. Congrats to the guys over at JTV's Twitch.tv. This is from VentureBeat. So I'll put a link in the show notes. There's a good article explaining what's going on with Twitch TV and other things like that. Oh, Bloomberg. And you might ask yourself, why is Eric putting a Bloomberg article in the Twin Turbo Gaming Show? And I might even ask myself that question. But when you read this headline, it says, Mario shunning iPhones leads to growing discontent by Nintendo's investors. And without even reading the article, though you should because it's a really good read, you know that the investors are like, knock, knock, Nintendo, why isn't Mario on the iPhone? Why aren't any of your games on the iPhone? Why are you focusing on making your own hardware, not putting the games on other